Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Anne Marie in for Scott, and we begin tonight with a rift over redistricting. Indiana Republicans visiting Washington, D.C. today for a meeting at the White House, while Democrats stayed here and rallied in Indianapolis outside the State House. Now, Logan Gay breaks down this growing clash over congressional maps.
Indiana Democrats say the state Republicans' trip to Washington, D.C. to meet with members of Trump's administration had nothing to do with making life better for Hoosiers. But Republicans say that's exactly what it's about.
They didn't go to lower our utility bills or our high, exorbitant grocery bills. They went to help Donald Trump cheat to win.
Talking about everything from Medicaid, Medicare issues that we have with that, how we can partner as a state to advance the direction we're going, to help with fraud, waste, and abuse, DEI, energy needs, energy deficits.
But hours after Republican lawmakers took off for D.C., Hoosiers rallied on the steps of the State House to voice their anger about it.
This is a whole new level of breaking the rules. And if the Republicans can only win by changing the rules and cheating, they know they don't deserve this power.
They're talking about mid-decade redistricting in Indiana. Typically, congressional maps are redrawn after a census. The last one was in 2020. But now President Donald Trump is pushing red states to rethink an effort to gain the GOP seats in the 2026 midterms.
They're not rallying. They're not giving speeches about how this is a great idea. This isn't their idea. This is being shoved down their throats to sort of extend gerrymandering and make it coast to coast.
Democratic Congressman Andre Carson joined other lawmakers at the rally. He represents Indiana's 7th district.
I think what we're seeing is an assault on our democracy. My hope is that my Republican friends, most of them don't want this.
Republican State Representative Craig Haggard was at the meeting in D.C. He says the majority of the conversation, led by Vice President J.D. Vance, was about policy, and only a very small part of it focused on redistricting.
It wasn't, you will do this, you will do this. It was, this is what we're doing. This is how you could partner if you want to. But they made it very clear all day long that the state made the state decisions, and if we were willing to partner, that's, they would love it.
Haggard says it's premature to have an answer right now on redistricting. Recently, Governor Mike Braun said he had not made a decision to call a special session to redraw Indiana's congressional map. He said he's waiting to hear what lawmakers have to say about that. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Homeless people are now camping out in Fountain Square tonight, even though the city vowed to evacuate them back on August 11th. Now it's more than 2 weeks later, and the residents who live there are frustrated that there are nearly a dozen tents that are still standing. So this is happening along Leonard Street, near the area where Virginia Avenue crosses I-65. Pastor David Green works with Streets to Home Indy, and he tells us he and the team are working round the clock, along with people from the Coalition for Homelessness Intervention and Prevention, to secure housing for people who are still living in this camp. But it's not an easy process.
A lot of times you got to go get Social Security cards and other things where they can, quote unquote, sign a lease. So getting that paperwork done, getting those things accomplished always takes a little bit of time.
So as far as a timeline that's realistic, Pastor Green says he's confident that this will get solved by the end of September. He says with the help of faith-based organizations and churches, they have raised nearly $200,000 that goes towards covering the housing costs for these people who are experiencing homelessness in our community. Signs of the times: a mall boarded up, painted with graffiti, and a parking lot littered with potholes. Neighbors say more than a group of stores, Washington Square right now on the Far East Side is a stain on the community.
You never know what you're going to get when you go in there, so you go in and come out as quick as can.
I feel like it's abandoned.
We talked to several shoppers who told us that they used to go to the mall all the time, but that stopped as the anchor stores there closed, giving way to vacancies and violations. City County Councilor Michael Paul Hart represents the area where that mall is located. And he says that leaders at Target asked him for help contacting the property owners, Durga Property LLC. But he says so far he hasn't had any luck.
we really need to go in all in as a community, from the health department standpoint, from Target, from people, and we've got to hold these guys accountable.
The Marion County Public Health Department found health and safety hazards inside that include a lack of proper heating, air conditioning, and ventilation. 13 News also reached out to the mall's manager and to Target, but we have yet to hear back from either.
We were tracking a few spotty showers across the northern part of the state earlier today. That little disturbance held together, and we've got a few showers working their way through parts of Boone and Hamilton counties, and another shower just to the southeast of Greenfield. These will continue to fall apart as they move south and east. Temperatures overnight in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees, so grab the jacket. You'll need it early tomorrow morning. Highs tomorrow afternoon, mid-70s.
Thanks, Angela. Tonight, a well-known composer living in Indianapolis is facing nearly a dozen child sex crime charges. Tonight, our Ashton Hackman explains how police used cryptocurrency transactions to make an arrest.
Julian Walkener also worked as a fourth grade teacher here at Invent Learning Hub in Fountain Square. According to court documents, he admitted to being attracted to kids in that same age range as those he taught.
Court documents filed Tuesday detail the complex investigation by IMPD. Starting from a tip on August 11th, the e-trading platform Robinhood flagged an account using cryptocurrency to buy child porn. Police tracked the account back to Walkener. In an interview with police, Walkener admitted to downloading and deleting child porn over the course of several years, adding he had an interest in kids 6 to 13. Police would find a laptop with the child porn and a substantial amount of cocaine.
Despicable. I mean, there's no other word that you can use to describe what took place and what this investigation uncovered.
Walkener is out on bond after making his initial court appearance Tuesday. He is set to be back in court in October. Reporting in Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Thank you, Ashton. We did reach out to the school where Walkener worked, and at this hour, we are still waiting to hear back. Also tonight, Indiana State Police are now asking for help finding a motorcyclist who's accused of shooting in a car that had a baby inside. Troopers releasing this picture of the suspect, so take a look. The person is now accused of shooting a car along the northbound lanes of I-465 near I-69 on the northeast side. It happened around 6 o'clock last Thursday night. Police say the motorcyclist took the Allisonville Road exit after the incident and that no one was hurt. So if you recognize who this person is, you are urged to call the Indiana State Police, or you can call Crime Stoppers. That number here, as always, 317-262-TIPS. Here's a quick look at some of the other stories that are making headlines tonight. A man was just sentenced to 2 years in prison for breaking into a gun store in Greenwood. Investigators say that Ivan Bautista stole more than $80,000 worth of guns. He pled guilty. Police also arrested 2 teens connected to that burglary that occurred in December of 2023. Tonight, there are several recycling sites all around the city that are shut down, and city leaders are blaming illegal dumping. That is a punishable offense, with fines going up to $2,500. All 3 locations were on Kroger parking lots. The company asked the city to get rid of them. Now, neighbors are encouraged to use heavy trash days or the Citizens Transfer Station that's located on the southwest side. A new hospital is now coming to Lebanon. Parkview Health just announced plans to build on that city's west side near I-65 and State Road 39. Parkview is based out of Fort Wayne, up in Allen County. The construction is expected to start next year, with the hospital opening in 2028. The Pacers Bike Share program is now expanding to Butler's campus. There are 3 new stations there that have 30 new bikes. All current Butler students, faculty, and staff will get a Butler University pass that gives them free access to unlimited 30-minute trips. And check this out, we're getting a first look at attendance numbers for the state fair this year. More than 854,000 people visited the fairgrounds over the 2-week event. That is a slight hike from last year. And you can mark your calendar for 2026. The state fair returns August 7th. And remember, you can always find all the latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.